Hey y'all, so today I'm coming by popular demand. I'm doing the top 10 ways to tell if he's a hoe, part 2. It's been a lot of responses I've got for the first video, so I just figured I'd do a part 2. Because like I said in the first video, it's a lot of ways you can tell. And once again, this video is just for fun. If I'm pulling your card, guys, then, it is what it is, I'm just speaking the truth and I'm just saying how I feel, and I can't apologize for that, you know what I mean? But I will apologize for your hurt feelings. Sorry. But I like to do this because I want to do it, so, I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. Number 11, since I already did 10 on the first video. Dude's going to Brazil, apparently. Going to Brazil, Belize, or any type a vacation where they go, especially with men. Now, this is a big one because this has always been a big deal. This has always happened with men, and this is always, it always will happen. You know, men like to go on vacation. There's nothing wrong with going on vacation, but typically when men go on vacation, vagina is pretty much the main destination. A lot of men like to go and to get foreign vagina, apparently, new vagina. This, and what you really have to be careful of, ladies, is it's bad to cheat. This is for all the women who are married and all that. It's bad for men to cheat, but it's been a lot of cases where men have come back back to the U.S. from other countries with diseases from these women. So it's becoming more of an epidemic of men not wearing condoms, even when they sleep with women on the side. And that's a huge problem, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, get tested, get him tested. If you guys like to swing or you guys have an understanding where it's okay for you guys to sleep with other people, that's fine too. But, make sure everything is safe and everything is fine. But typically, this is because, well, the reason why it's on my list is because men have a tendency to trick on hoes, you know what I'm saying, outside of the country, especially. So they definitely tricking for hoes in Brazil and Belize and everywhere else. So that's number 11. Number 12. Um, this is a big one as well. Dudes have no problem having multiple baby moms and still claiming that they are single. Example, someone like Lil Wayne. This to me is a huge problem because it makes me think of a guy's moral. Like, is it okay for you to sleep with women and get them pregnant, but they're not good enough for you to marry? I don't understand. It's like they're good enough for you to, deal with for the next 18 to 25 years, but they're not good enough for you to marry and to commit to, or just be with. I think that's, very interesting. So, men, now understand, let's say you have a girlfriend or you got a girl pregnant on accident. I understand, you don't have to be with the mother who you have a child with, but this is for men who repeatedly get women pregnant, but still claim that they single. You know what I'm saying? But have like two, three, four, five multiple baby moms. Those men are hoes. Number 13. They always go out every night, or they always they're never available at night. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to call them or get in touch with them, and you notice a pattern, like not every night, but oftentimes at night they're not available, and then they're not working. You know what I mean? So it's not too many things open real late at night, but legs, because what, clubs and bars close around like 2 o'clock, some three, whatever. But if you can never get a hold of a guy, typically that's what, during those hours, or really get a hold of him during those hours, that means he's a hoe. Number 14, you always see them with different girls. You always see them with different women at events. or public outings, or men who typically have like on their Facebook or MySpace just overloads of pictures they have with other women. You know what I mean? Like they take pictures like as if they're couples, but you always see them at different events and it's always with a different girl. It's never the same girl. That's a big flag. So yeah, he's a hoe. Number 15. Um, of course, men who get in relationships or marriages and have no problem cheating. You know what I mean? Apparently, this has become more and more accepted in today's culture. It's not accepted by me, but a lot I know of older women and some women around my age who seem not to have a problem, or they think men can cheat, or men are somewhat allowed to cheat but they can't cheat, or if they do, or if women do cheat, they have to really cover it up. I think that's BS. But of course, men who have no problems, stepping out on their girlfriends and wives, for hoes on the side, are hoes. Um, Number 16, men who have a bunch. You know how some men have like a huge resume of women, like ex-girlfriends, baby moms, jump offs. It's like a huge resume. You know what I'm saying? And they're known because if you pay attention, men with a lot of women or who have dealt with a lot of women in their past, they have a reputation of being known as a pimp or a player, or they have nicknames like daddy or names like that. And people, or a player, like people refer to them as men who have a lot of women, as if they're like legends with women or something, and they get props and dabs from other men, but typically they're hoes. um and it kind of goes back to the one I said earlier about late nights. On the flip side, if a man is only trying to see you on a late night, and if he's quick to send penis pics, like pics of his body. Now, let me specify about this one. If you've been knowing a guy for a while, or you've been dating, for a while, like, I don't know, a few years or so, it's okay to send, like little pics like that, long as you trust the person, or, I guess that's fine. But this is for typically men who do it off rip. You know what I'm saying? They just want women to see what they have off rip. You know what I'm saying? The woman doesn't have to ask, or typically you're not even talking about sex, but they send you a pic just out the blue of their penis. Not that we're complaining, but when it's real quick like that, and when you don't even know too much about the guy, or when you're getting to know the guy, they just show you. So that typically means they're showing a lot of women in their hoes. Um, this kind of ties into number 18. Men who are known to have half naked pictures on their, like Facebook, um, especially in their boxer shorts where you can like see their print, like really sexual type of pics. You know what I'm talking about? Typically those men are hoes. Some of them are gay, but they're probably gay hoes too. You know what I'm saying? But that's a big one. You know what I mean? Like when men always are showing their bodies in a sexual way, oiled up and showing their, penis bulge or whatnot. They just real free with showing everybody. That's not a good look. Number 19. This is a big one too. Men who have no problem sleeping. Oh God, this is messing up. Okay. Men who have no problem with sleeping with and or living with like sugar moms, like older women. And only reason they do that is because the older women are giving them money, like they social security checks and stuff. Men like that are basically male prostitutes. They sleep with women who have money or who have material possessions to offer them. Or, they drive around in the old women's Cadillacs, stunting on hoes as if it's theirs. and they get these older women social security cards. I'm sorry, social security checks to trick on other women as well. You know what I'm saying? And women, be careful letting men drive your cars too, because men pick up other women in your cars and they sleep with other women in your cars too. Not all, but that's been going on a lot too. You know, just be careful letting men drive your cars. Um, Especially if they're not putting gas in the tank. Number 20. This is a big one, and I've been seeing this quite frequent. But it's funny, but it's something to look into. Men who always have sexual stuff, you know, like on their Facebook statuses. You know, like I love to eat out, or I want to get some head tonight. You know, just really overt sexual public messages to their female friends, or trying to pick up women via Facebook or Twitter or any online social network service online. They do that to kind of solicit themselves, you know, for attention, you know, because a lot of them are thirsty as hell, but more so because you know they're trying to get laid, you know, and they're trying to get female attention from female friends on Facebook or any other who they do know or who they don't know. They're just basically trying to get laid. Another one is when men wear very anything of a sexual connotation, like t-shirts or hats that say anything regarding their sex game or their penises or so forth. They're basically soliciting their bodies for, you know, their advancement and for the pleasure of women, you know, and they're tricking basically, and they're tricks. You see what I'm saying? Um, so, you know, I hope that inform you, you know, because this is more, like I said, this is for fun. I enjoy making these type of videos, but it's also educational and informative videos I like to do for other women who may be blinded or, you know, kind of weak and silly, naive on not really paying attention, or women who just believe things men say all the time. You know, this is mainly for you guys, you know what I'm saying? And I hope this helped you out. If you have any more questions or comments on how you feel about this topic, or you know, any other of my videos, feel free, like I said, to message me, inbox, subscribe, like this vid, share it, however you will. But again, if you have any more suggestions or any more additional ways to tell if he's a hoe, please feel free to let me know. I'll appreciate those as well, and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.